Making headlines this hour, Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Mohammed Asim arrives in China on a bilateral official visit. The Chinese ambassador to the Maldives says, with the care of both heads of states and joint efforts from both sides, China-Maldives all-around friendly and cooperative partnerships entered into a new chapter and made many great achievements in the past year. And Turkey and Russia said they are cooperating more closely in Syria, not only on negotiation tables but also in battlefronts.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome you all to TVM News in English. I'm Zinat Hassan here with the news in details. Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Mohammed Asim arrives in China on a bilateral official visit. The minister was received at the Beijing Capital International Airport by Ambassador of Maldives to China, Dr. Mohammed Faisal, and senior officials from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of China. Foreign Minister Asim is scheduled to call on the Vice President of China and to meet with the Foreign Minister of China and discuss strengthening relations between the two countries. He is also scheduled to meet the President of AIIB and the President of China Exim Bank during the visit. Foreign Minister Asim is accompanied by Bilateral Secretary Ahmad Khadil and Desk Officer at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Hussein Sharif. Chinese Ambassador Wang Fukan says with the care of both heads of state and joint efforts from both sides, China-Maldives all-around friendly and cooperative partnership entered into a new chapter and made great achievements in the past year. The ambassador made the remarks while speaking at a press briefing held to inform the media of the work being done to further enhance China-Maldives relations.
China is one of the major development partners of the Maldives, and it has been at the forefront of assisting the Maldives achieve much-needed socio-economic development. This year will mark the 45th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and Maldives, and both countries have set up a model of relationship between a big country and a small, featuring equal treatment and mutual benefits. At the 2017 media briefing and reception held on Wednesday, Ambassador of China to the Maldives, Wang Fukang, said, with the joint efforts of the heads of the state and local authorities, China-Maldives relations and cooperations have entered into a new chapter and made great achievements in the past year. The ambassador said that the relationship between the two sides continue to be intensified, bringing substantial benefit to both people.
On the political front, mutual trust between our two countries has been upgraded. His Excellency Masih, Speaker of People's Majlis, paid an official visit to China and had conference with Chinese leaders. He also attended the 4th China-South Asia Expo as the special envoy of His Excellency President Yaming, and reached important consensus regarding the consolidation and the development of our bilateral relations.
Speaking about economic cooperation, the ambassador noted that China has initiated multiple projects in the Maldives in the past year, of which some have been successfully completed.
Both sides successfully concluded the 4th round of China-Maldives FTA negotiation. And China added the infrastructure projects are going on smoothly. What's more, Lamo Atoll link road has been delivered to use. 25% of construction work of China-Maldives Friendship Bridge has been completed. The most difficult part of bridge has been finished. The expansion and upgrading project of Velana International Airport is being smoothly pushed forward.
During the press event organized by the Chinese Embassy in Male, Ambassador Fukang noted that China supports President Abdul Yamin Abdul Qayyum's effort to restructure the country's economy. He noted that the Maldives is actively working with China to jointly build upon Belt and Road Initiative to align the initiative of their strategies and connect the countries. Furthermore, the ambassador noted that people-to-people relations are becoming frequent between the countries, with various delegations of the parliament, political parties, athletes, youth and students visiting China last year. He added that China provided the Maldives with over 100 training opportunities last year alone and continues to contribute to human resource development of the country.
Ministry of Environment and Energy says a contractor will be assigned to the project to establish a water and sewage network in Nafar Island of Lavian Atoll within the next 2 months. Speaking to PSM News, State Minister for Environment and Energy Abdullah Matin said that they are now evaluating bids for the project, which is funded by the Islamic Development Bank. However, the State Minister did not mention the cost of the project. Nafar Island has a population of 5,700 people. The ministry says water and sewerage systems will be established in 5 islands this year with funding from the Islamic Development Bank. The government plans to establish water and sewerage systems in 88 islands, and nearly 800 million rupiah is allocated in the state budget for these projects. Finance Minister Ahmad Munawar says the government aspires to transform the Islamic University of Maldives into an institution favoured by students from other countries. He made the remarks while speaking at a ceremony held last night to hand over award letters to those who received scholarships from IUM and other affiliated foreign institutions. The scholarships include staff development scholarships provided to IUM staff as well. 10 students were presented scholarship awards later at Tuesday night ceremony, including 4 PhD scholarships from the International Institute of Islamic Thought, 4 PhD scholarships provided by University Brunei Darus Salam, and 1 PhD scholarship from IUM. Speaking at the ceremony, Finance Minister Munawar said that government will seek necessary assistance in order to transform IUM into an institute which is favoured by foreign students. Speaking at the event, IUM's Chancellor Dr. Muhammad Shahim Ali Said noted the support from international institutes to develop IUM. The High Court rejects a petition filed by the Elections Commission EC seeking clarification on the court's decision to postpone the local council elections. The petition was filed on the 9th of December 2016. Before filing the petition, EC appealed at the High Court against the Civil Court's order to delay the local council elections. Elections Commission later withdrew the appeal. The Civil Court ruling came following a petition filed by the ruling Maldives Progressive Party (PPM), citing that the party's leadership dispute had hindered its efforts to prepare for the elections set for January 14th. The ruling said sitting councillors can remain in office until the election of new councillors. Maldives Sports Limited MPL says the development of Dugas in Addu city as a hotel remains a top priority of the company. Speaking on PSM Rajamid program, MPL CEO Muhammad Junaid said they have already drawn up plans to develop Dugas as a tourist hotel, adding that the facility will be opened for tourists within 2 months from the date of handover of the property. Citing the Tourism Ministry, Junaid said administrative issues are delaying the handover of the property. He said the project will create more jobs for young people in Addu city. MPL estimates that over 250 jobs will be created with the development of Dugas as a hotel. Ministry of Tourism remains travel agencies to file their annual reports before the end of this month. The ministry said it reserves the right to revoke licenses of travel agencies that fail to submit their annual reports by the deadline. According to Article 8 of the Travel Agency Regulations, travel agencies are required to submit annual reports to the Tourism Ministry by the end of January every calendar year. 299 registered travel agencies are operating in the Maldives. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe says the recovery of the Japanese economy will continue to be his top priority this year. Abe also denied media speculation that he might call a snap election early into the new year. He said the mission given to the government is to grow the economy. Abe kicked off the first business day of 2017 by praying at Ise-jingu Shinto Shrine, the holy site of the Japanese Shinto religion. He greeted and shook hands with the squealing crowds before entering the inner sanctuary to pray for good fortune. Experts say Abe's bold stimulus program, since he came to power in 2012, has driven some progress on deflation and fiscal consolidation, but it is seen to have failed to dislodge a deflationary mindset among business and consumers. And now we look into the latest news updates from international arena. Turkey and Russia say they are cooperating more closely in Syria, not only on negotiation tables, but also in battle fronts. The latest such cooperation is witnessed in the military operation Euphrates Shield, initiated by Turkey, and the airstrike launched by Russia. Both are targeting Bab al-Salame, the last extremist-held stronghold north of Aleppo. Russia has dispatched fighter jets to Bab al-Salame since December 30th last year to assist Turkey to strike against extremist organizations. This is the first time Russia has joined in the fight in that area. According to Syrian analysts, Turkey once called to no avail on the US-led anti-terrorist allied forces for support in Bab al-Salame last December. As a result, Turkey had to turn to Russia for assistance. Though Turkey is cooperating with Russia, analysts believe that the country will not take actions without Western countries. Thousands of residents flee from eastern Mosul neighborhoods Quds, Intisar and Soma as the second phase of the army offensive against IS militant continues. Brigadier Jabbar Hassoum, a member of the army, said yesterday there were around 3,000 people who fled, and today it was around the same number. Since the offensive to capture Mosul began 10 weeks ago, counterterrorism forces have retaken a quarter of the city. But the advance has been slow, and troops on other fronts have made little progress. More than 114,000 civilians have been displaced from Mosul so far, according to the United Nations, but 1.5 million are still thought to be inside. Police detained 27 people as part of the Istanbul nightclub attack investigation in the western city of Izmir, including women and children who have travelled from Konya. Video footage showed some of them being brought out of an apartment building to wait in vehicles. Another news agency reported on Tuesday that 14 people had been detained over the attack, while NTV reported that 2 foreign nationals had been detained at Istanbul's main airport. The Turkish foreign minister said the authorities has established the identity for the gunman who killed 39 people in an attack on an Istanbul nightclub on New Year's Day, but the attacker himself remains at large. IS militant groups has claimed responsibility for the attack, saying it was revenge for Turkish military involvement in Syria. Malaysia's top counterterrorism official says Myanmar faces a growing danger of attacks by foreign supporters of IS.
Malaysian authorities have detained a suspected IS follower planning to head to Myanmar to carry out attacks. The head of the Malaysian Police Counterterrorism Division said in an interview that the suspect, an Indonesian who did not identify, was detained in Malaysia last month. He said the suspect was scheduled to be charged on Wednesday for possession of materials linked to terrorist groups, which carries a 7-year jail term or fine. He said more militants are likely to try to follow his lead in support of the Rohingya cause. The United Nations says a Myanmar army sweep since October in the north of Rakhine State on its border with Bangladesh has sent about 34,000 members of the Rohingya minority fleeing into Bangladesh. Residents and right groups accuse security forces in predominantly Buddhist Myanmar of summary executions and rape in the army operations launched in response to attack on police posts on October 9 that killed 9 officers. The government of Aung San Suu Kyi denies the accusation of abuse. An estimated 150,000 to 200,000 Rohingyas displaced by previous violence in Myanmar lives in Malaysia. Myanmar's 1.1 million Rohingyas, viewed as illegal immigrants from Bangladesh by many of the country's majority Buddhists, are denied citizenship and face severe restrictions on their travel.
Armed men with links to rebels stormed a prison in the southern Philippines, killing the guard and freed more than 150 inmates. The Southeast Asian nation has for decades been plagued by insurgencies by rebels in its southern islands, with President Rodrigo Duterte seeking to promote broad peace in the country. Prison warden Peter Bonga told a local radio station that the gunmen opened fire at guards at the North Cotabato District Jail in Kidapawan City around 1 a.m. on Wednesday. He said of the jail's 1,511 inmates, 158 managed to escape and 4 were recaptured. New UN Secretary General Antonio Gutteres completes his first day in office. We take a closer look.
The new United Nations Secretary General Antonio Gutteres started working at the UN headquarters in New York on Tuesday. Gutteres began his first day in office with the laying of a wreath at the memorial wall in honor of the UN staff who have lost their lives in the line of duty. In a subsequent speech, Gutteres praised the work and strong qualities of UN staff members.
If the UN is the main pillar of multilateralism, the UN staff is the main pillar of the UN. And I could witness the courage, the determination, the generosity, and the wisdom and competence.
The new Secretary General also called upon the UN to recognize its own shortcomings and to implement reform in order to better play its role.
There's a lot of skepticism about the role the UN can play. And so I think it's very important for us to be proud of what we do as UN, to recognize our achievements, and at the same time we need to make sure that we are able to reform the UN development system as member states have asked us.
Gutteres noted the challenges he faces in dealing with the various conflicts around the world, alongside other pressing issues like threats posed by terrorism and climate change. He said all these problems require global solutions, which shows the importance of the UN as a cornerstone of multilateralism.
Tonight in sports, Germany midfielder Julian Draxler joins Paris Saint-Germain on a 4.5-year contract from VfL Wolfsburg. The 23-year-old was a member of the victorious Germany squad at the 2014 World Cup. French media reported he is joining for a transfer fee of $37 million. Draxler has been hailed as one of the best attacking midfielders of his generation, but has struggled for consistency. He could make his PSG debut against Bastia in the French Cup last 64 game on Saturday. Kristina Mladenovic and Richard Gasquet of France win their second consecutive tie at the Hopman Cup in Perth, beating Great Britain. Both players won their single matches against Heather Watson and Dan Evans of Great Britain to ensure victory with a 3-0 final results. On the opening day of the tournament, which features women and men's singles and then a mixed doubles match, France beat Germany 2-1 and Switzerland beat Great Britain 3-0. The French duo then won the mixed doubles 4-3, 4-3, played under fast 4 rules. France's last Group B match on Friday will be against Switzerland, led by Roger Federer. They were playing Germany in their second group match later on Wednesday. Cast members from Moonlight and Manchester by the Sea pick up honors at the 82nd New York Film Critics Circle Awards. Let's have a look.
The New York Film Critics Circle held its 82nd award ceremony on Tuesday, with film La La Land picking up the top prize. The film about an aspiring actress and jazz musician falling in love while trying to succeed in Los Angeles, stars Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, was named Best Film. La La Land was written and directed by Damien Chazelle and is considered an Oscar frontrunner. Manchester by the Sea, the poignant and sometimes funny independent movie about a working-class American family dealing with multiple tragedies, continues to pick up with actor Casey Affleck being named Best Actor, Michelle Williams Best Supporting Actress, and a Best Screenplay honor for Kenneth Lonergan.
Well, I've been singled out by this organization before in a less flattering way. But you got to take your lumps, you know, and if you're going to enjoy the sugar. So it's really nice. There are a lot of people in there who write beautifully about movies and who I've been reading for many years. And so it's nice to be in this room and to know that at least a majority of them appreciated the job I did in this movie, if not all of them.
Williams was also recognized for her supporting role in the drama Certain Women and talked about how she prepares for roles.
Yeah, pretty much all the same. I just start, as soon as I know I'm going to do something, I just start worrying about it and stressing out about it and thinking about it and letting it just kind of be like this little background music in my mind.
French actress Isabelle Huppert also received double honors. Moonlight, which follows a young black man growing to adulthood in a hard-scrambled Miami neighborhood, also picked up multiple trophies. Mahershala Ali snagged the Best Supporting accolade and Barry Jenkins the Best Director, while Jamie Laxton was named Best Cinematographer.
When you make a film, when I make a film, I'll say I expect, my mom and my sister, maybe my 3 closest friends will watch it. To have this many people, again, the circle is getting farther and farther away from the people who know me. To have total strangers see this film and see themselves in it when they are not from the world of these characters, it just moves me so much.
German-Austrian film Toni Erdner was named Best Foreign Language Film. Disney's Zootopia was named Best Animated Film and Documentary Director. Ezra Edelman was honored for his film O.J. Made in America. Founded in 1935, the New York Film Critics Circle is among the oldest critics group in the country. It is made up of members of newspapers, magazines and online publications. The awards will be followed on Wednesday by the top film prizes from the National Board of Review. The awards are seen as a bellwether for the Hollywood's Oscars, the film world's highest honors.
With that, we conclude the news for this evening. Thank you for being with us. Good night and bye-bye.